And I'm real.
We are real. This is the voice of real humans coming to you live.
We are. Hi, welcome everybody. We are real and we are live here today. I'm Susan McConnell, your LinkedIn for the Reserved Champion. And thanks for joining me. I host this conversation every Tuesday at 12 with I even talked today, told you I was telling you that, Trevor, different business owners and different
Yes.
topics to light up my network with actionable ways to improve your business so you can be fabulous today. So today, my guest is Trevor Tomion, and I don't even know if I said that right, Trevor, but we'll talk about that. But he is a lead facilitator at Common Leaders, a company dedicated to leveraging widely accessible platforms to share knowledge, skills, expertise of leaders and for leaders. Everything to do about leaders is the Common Leaders. And he also publishes content on leadership, creativity, getting hired. We talked about that when we first met. Small companies and hiring issues, which we will talk about. Gratitude and finding examples of leadership from places that most don't think to look. I really like that. Common Leaders offers coaching and training services for small businesses, startups, entrepreneurs, and students. So welcome, Trevor. Glad to
Thank
have you
you.
here. Yeah.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Did you like that? I can even read. They give me
It,
that skill once in a while.
it was really, really good. I feel like, we're hitting a stride right out of the gate with that great introduction.
Yeah.
So
It was that
yeah, I'm
whole
just gonna inflate my head a little bit and jump in. How are you?
good, good. How are you today?
Good, good. No complaints. I'm in the sunny San Diego area, so
Oh,
if I complain, nobody's gonna care as the
yeah,
Northeast
right.
gets
I'm not
battered
with
with
the 2 feet of
storms.
snow we have outside. Absolutely not.
I'm
um,
sorry.
it's so funny. So how I met Trevor is interesting. He was going to attend an event of mine that someone else was promoting, and it was that whole signing up for an event with the Zoom and the different hoops and things you had to go through. So he didn't actually think I was real, and so now he knows I'm real. I'm here. We're live. We did it, and we actually met.
Yeah, I was thinking of you just a couple of days ago because I went on another event that was having the same issues, and it looked so I guess for lack of a better term, sketchy. And
Yeah.
that's unfortunate because when I got to talk to you, you were anything but fake and anything
Yay.
but like this overly salesy deal that did feel like that initial event. So I'm so
Yeah.
glad that we had a chance to connect.
Yeah.
Yeah, lesson number
LinkedIn
one
doesn't make,
today is watch
yeah,
out for that.
definitely. LinkedIn doesn't make it easy to do events off of LinkedIn. So that tells you one thing. They kind of want to keep it on. They want to keep us live. But sometimes I take it over to Zoom because sometimes I do master classes and workshops. So
Hmm.
that happens. So
Yeah,
let's get into some questions. Let's
sure.
see here. Um, so let's talk about when you and I talked, we talked about small businesses hiring and scaling. And so what does that mean? And like when and why did you start doing that?
Um, the shortest version of it is there are a lot of entrepreneurs that want to do it all, and they think that they have to do it all. It's not an ego thing from a lot of the entrepreneurs and business owners that I've met. It's not like I'm better than everybody else at doing it. It's just that I think that it would make the most sense for me to do it, whether it's a financial reason or whether that's because you don't want to put extra things on other people. But the problem with that is you only have 24 hours in your day, 18 of it awake if you're Elon Musk. But for the rest of us, you have like a 10 to 12-hour day to get everything done. So you really limit yourself, and then you throw other things out of balance, which is a totally different conversation when it comes to the rest of life. So to get to a level of success where your business is hitting the marks and the dreams that you have for it, it really is going to benefit you a lot to figure out how to build a team, whether that
Oh,
is
yes.
a highly paid team or a team of interns. However to get it done is the next question. But the first thing you have to face, I think, as a small business owner or as a new business owner is how do you reach those goals and what areas should you be spending the most time in as an owner? Because if your expertise is and coaching and doing things like this, then you should be spending most of your time there because that's the biggest value to your business. If you're spending all of your time on social media or doing admin work, you are
Right.
costing your company money. So I got a firsthand look at that when I worked in my most recent job as director of operations. And I saw it prior to that when I was consulting, where the most motivated individuals at a business want to take on everything. And unfortunately, that hamstrings the business and ends up costing it money. So I got interested in it because most people also enjoy working on teams. And I find myself to be one of those. So I really love working with businesses and with individuals to say, what are your core values? What are your visions? What are your dreams? Let's go find people who want to get on board with you and help you get those things, but maybe have a
Right.
different skill set than you.
Right. And that's
Um,
interesting because small businesses don't typically tend to do that. They typically throw a post out somewhere and interview and kind of hire the first person that fits the bill. And again, hiring these days is becoming challenging too. So you kind of have to find someone that fits so you can keep them because it costs a lot of money to hire someone and then have them not stay.
Yeah, yeah, and especially as a small, like when your organization is small and maybe there's just a few people, that is a prime place where the average new business owner wants to fill it with a warm body and like click it forward as fast as possible. But that person becomes your primary coworker. Even if they're only with you for 10 hours a week, it's your potentially your first hire and your first colleague and your first culture builder. So to undermine the importance of that has a potential huge ripple effect on the next steps of your business. Because if you just hire a warm body, yes, you may check the boxes, but you're just going to be continuing the same crap that you left in the 9 to 5 world.
Yeah.
Build Building a culture that reflects what you got into the business for is really, really important. It's also really exciting. It can be, because if you, my buddy who I helped hire their first couple employees, I said, if you want to listen to Eminem and NPR all day on repeat because it's your company in your garage, find somebody that shares those values with you. Like, this is the right time to start building a culture that reflects a place that you want to be at.
Okay, cool. So
And
is that kind of what makes it worth having that approach? Is that kind of what makes your approach worth considering? Does that kind of answer that one?
from a fulfillment
Or
standpoint, absolutely. Because as a
yes.
business, we all know, anybody who's listening to this knows that a small business is very likely to have more failures than successes along the way. So, at the very least, you'll enjoy yourself if you pick somebody you enjoy working with. At the very most, in their case, you find somebody who can maybe help you scale, who brings those boxes to check, but who maybe can go a level up because they're going to share your value system and share your vision, and who's going to work a little bit harder and bring a little bit of more expertise that maybe you hadn't considered before. So now you set yourself up for a bit of a cherry on top, which is, well, I thought this person was only going to work 10 hours a week doing X, Y, and Z, but maybe they can add all this stuff to my business and help us grow, when I hadn't really considered that because I was only trying to fill a warm body before. So it's got a very personal, I think a very personal payoff by picking people you want to be around, but also a very financial and business sustainability by giving you the opportunity at least to scale. Versus if you walk into the conversation just looking for the warm body, you have acknowledged that we just want to maintain.
Yeah, true. And so, what kind of quick advice do you have for an organization in the obviously we're in the middle of a hiring crisis. So, and so small business, I would think it's even a bigger crisis.
Yeah, bigger crisis and bigger opportunity for sure. There is, because it is such
Right.
a crisis. I mean, truly, I just talked to a business owner yesterday who's got an established business and is about half of where they want to be staffing wise, and feels like the world is closing
Wow.
in a little bit because of the circumstances that they find themselves in. And I said, we may find that to be true, so I don't want to discount that, but I also would like to present a different version of the world, which is, from a political and a society standpoint, we are more split than ever in this country, it seems. From a labor standpoint, it's more goofy than ever, it seems. And there's more small businesses. There's all these factors that are just so hard to get your arms around as a society because of the COVID deal and the political environment, that it's a time to try new things and to try different things and to jump into a version of the world that you enjoy, because everything's kind of a mess. That's my sales pitch. It's not a very big one, but my small advice would be start with your value system. Start with establishing a bulleted list of things that are
We're having a little
critical
buffer
to you at
problem,
your
Trevor. I
core.
don't know if that's me or you. It could be me.
Uh-oh. Let me know when you can hear me.
Is that either one of us?
Let me know when we're back. I'm
Is that
just
you?
gonna
Are you
keep
there?
jabbering. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Was that me or you? I don't even know who went out. That's the first time I've had that.
I don't know. Are we back? I see the clock running and I see the scroller. Oh,
Yeah, I think we're still live. It said my Wi-Fi was a little goofy. Let me just cancel something here.
yeah, no
I have
worries. Take your time.
a connection. Maybe that's helping. There.
Oh, the joys of
Can't see me
technology.
now because I'm going in and out. He can
Oh,
hear
I
us.
can. Oh, thank you, sir. That was very kind of you to chime in. Um, yeah, what I was saying is start with the values, start with what's important to you, and put those in your posting. That is my quick and easy advice to anybody who's looking for an intern or looking for an employee. If you don't have an established value system or an established set of core values that's quick and easy that you can put at the very top of your job posting, establish that first and put it in every posting, because you will automatically filter in people who maybe share those or similar, and you will automatically and very quickly sort out the people who don't. And that will save you a lot of time through the interview process and make you hate it a lot less.
Awesome. Thanks, Lynn, for letting us know. I don't know what's going on. I guess when you're live, you're subject to technology.
Yeah,
But
cheers to
it
that.
looks like we're good now. But thanks, you guys, for all your comments. And like I said, any questions, feel free to ask them. We can send Trevor.
Yeah.
He's
Shoot away. Oh, I was in the private chat. Oh, I
except
clicked
we're
the other
freezing.
button. Now I can see them all. Cool.
Yeah,
Hey,
when I
everybody.
can show them to you, but you can't see them. The fun of being in control. So if you're an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, explain scaling and tell them why they should be doing it. It's kind of one of those catch-22s.
Yeah, if your goal is to stay a solopreneur and just work solo and provide enough to get by, which is a big portion of people right now, so there's nothing wrong with that, then do what you do and stay in your wheelhouse. And if you need a little extra help, then reach out to somebody in your network. But if you're hoping to grow and if you have aspirations beyond yourself, then I would say don't wait to start chasing those things, even if it's just finding a collaborator or a partner where it doesn't necessarily cost your organization or you any money. Start to find people to build a network who share a value system with you, share a similar vision, or can co-contribute to each other's vision. And then what that will likely open up is a lot of learning. Very, very simply, a lot of learning. And you can only do what you can do. I know there's a lot of cliches in the rationale for scaling, but scaling is the only way to multiply yourself. And that is what you need to do if you're hoping to grow a successful company. If you want to build a team, you have to start building a team. Do not wait, because social media is an example. How many major platforms are there? There's LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok now. And if you ignore TikTok, you're silly. Pinterest is a huge SEO hit. YouTube is a huge SEO hit. There are 6 off the top of my head that are huge, really critically important branding, just for branding. Even if you don't sell squat on those, they're important for branding. So as an owner or a solopreneur, if you're hoping to nail the branding message and nail the building of your company, and you're trying to do it all by yourself, like you have seriously lost track of time. You're not going to be able to do it.
No.
So at the very least, you find those type of partners to bring in to help brand your organization. And then as soon as you find somebody smarter than you that wants to join your organization and help you do what you do, find a way to get them on your team. Don't be afraid of somebody who's smarter than you.
Oh, absolutely not. And as my partner Tom, who said he can hear us still, um, do what you do best and outsource the rest, right, Tom?
Yes. There you go.
Yes, definitely. Especially if you're going to be a solo entrepreneur, because if you're trying to do the social media and you're not good at it, it's not going to work out. It's just going to be a
And you're
waste
going to
of
be
your time and
unhappy.
a waste of the things that you do best.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
I
you'll
want
be
to talk a little
unhappy.
bit about common leaders. So common leaders is sort of tell us a little bit about it. What is common leaders?
That's the right way to approach it. It's a big
Yeah,
quasi vision.
yeah,
It's as much as anything, common leaders is a vision to me of leaders not being alone. There are a lot of entrepreneurs, whether they are big organizations or by themselves, who feel alone because they get to make the decisions by themselves, which is all fun and games until you're there. And once you're there, you find that making those decisions by yourself leads to taking all the blame, feeling all the pressure, feeling all of the things that come along with having a successful business if you're fortunate enough to make it there. And it occurred to me that it would be really nice if this whole I won't go too deep down this hole, but there are a lot of people who feel special because that's how we grew up. There was a generation of kids who was told they were special, and that can be a lonely place. And then those people become entrepreneurs and they're taking on all that pressure of the business by themselves. And so it can be lonely to be a leader and to feel like this term leader is this massive weight on your back. And to be a successful one, you have to do the Tony Robbins things of the world. You have to do, I love Brene, but you have to be the Brene Brown of the world. And that's a lot of pressure to put on an individual. So I wanted to start an organization that, at its really foundation, would highlight the leaders who make every day better, who come into work and they're cheery or happy or authentic, whatever the thing is that makes them unique in your world and makes you look forward to seeing them. I want to highlight them, but also the people outside of work and the family who are holding their families up, the people in the community that are holding church groups and community groups and governmental groups, holding those things up. Those
right.
people don't get a lot of love, and there's not a whole lot of things out there to speak to that. Anytime we hear about leadership, we hear about it in the context of management, and I think that that's unfortunate. So
Oh, yeah. You're
um,
so very true. I agree.
yeah, so I want to build a company around doing that, and that's a big undertaking because there's a lot of people.
Yeah. So tell us I think you did a little bit of the type of clients that you would be working with, or kind of what you mentioned is
Yeah,
I'm not your everyday leader, but you're on the street on the feet leaders, we'll call them, right? Feet on the
yeah.
street. I said that backwards. Feet on the street leaders, street on the
the
feet, whatever. It works.
I have two types of people who I see as like part of the common leaders group. There's the client group, which are going to be more likely your entrepreneurs, your business owners, your organizations who are looking for some help with something like hiring because I have the experience. I am passionate about doing it. I love doing it. So there are plenty of services to a small business, and I've helped scale a small business internally, and I've consulted externally to do it. So I have some experience in those areas, and I'm very fortunate to have had mentors that make it so easy for me because they taught
Awesome.
me so many things. I'm kind of a vessel for their knowledge. So I love doing stuff like that and I'm involved in a few of those projects now, and have some room for some more. And then on the other side of it, of just highlighting leaders, that is about as difficult as it is I have a submit your leader form where if there is a leader in your life who you think deserves a little spotlight, it could be a mom, it could be an aunt, it could be a teacher. I had a teacher submitted recently. I just want to put the highlight on people who both are excellent in their life to the people around them and who maybe have something to share about their journey that could help someone else in a similar circumstance. I talked to a social worker
Mhm.
who happened to be a mom. That's why she got nominated, but she was a social worker and a really prominent one. And she was pregnant at 17 and like had all these struggles, but now is this really, really successful community leader. And that's the type of stuff that I love to share with people. So if there's somebody else out there who maybe doesn't look like me and share my experience, can learn from her
Right.
as through the vehicle of my platform.
Right. It's exactly what I do here. I don't talk about LinkedIn and what I do on LinkedIn because everybody does that and I do post on that. It's more about giving my community an experience of everybody else and what they do and how, it can help their businesses grow and as I say, be dangerous.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I really, really love that. I love the idea of building a community around what you're passionate about and having the rest kind of follow along,
Mhm.
hopefully, you know.
Yeah,
But at the very least, building a community, because if you and I have to go get a job at Starbucks tomorrow, we could still do this. And that's
right.
cool.
And I'd like that because I love Starbucks. Uh, Um, so you have obviously the podcast and people
Yeah.
apply to get on that. Tell us how we can, nominate people for it.
Yeah, I'll make sure I share the link with you because I may not have so we can put it in the post. If you go to commonleaders.com, there's a submit your leader button, super
Mhm.
easy to find.
Cool.
You can also just reach out to me directly because some people hate forms. I'm finding the forms
Mhm.
are a barrier, which
Right.
is unfortunate, but it is what it is. If you have somebody who's just excellent and you want to highlight, let me know. What I
Mhm.
don't do much or really any of are people who reach out and say, "I want to share my story." That's not my shtick right now.
Oh, cool.
um, because there's enough of that. You can do that yourself. You don't need my podcast for it. But I'll also be. I'm really excited because this is recent. I'm launching some new podcast titles in the coming couple days. So if somebody is interested in podcasts and interested in this type of conversation, which is dangerous conversations and
That's
pushing the
right.
boundaries a little, follow the Common Leaders podcast, and you'll see some new stuff pop up in
Great.
the next
And
month.
I will put that in the show notes. It'll be great for all the people that get to watch us on replay as well. So that is
Yeah.
awesome. And so so those are some of the new things that you're up to, or
Yeah, I have a bunch of new podcast centered projects because just like this, it's the start of the conversation, and I want to start some different and new conversations with some people other than myself. Some of them are going to be centered on coaching. I'm planning to start a segment that I call Not News, which I'm pretty pumped about because nothing is news anymore unless it's on Twitter. So don't kid yourself about it. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna experiment around. I have a comedy show I'm gonna start under a different label because it might be a little vulgar, but I'm I'm excited to enter the new world that is very accessible media for people.
that's great. Great.
Yeah,
So I actually put your email in the show notes as well.
I saw
So
that. Thank
they
you.
can reach you there. They can obviously reach you on LinkedIn, and I will put that in the um, posts afterwards as well. So that's
Cool.
great. Yeah. Anything else before we wrap up? Any other ideas you want to throw out to us, or?
Yeah, when it comes to scaling and when it comes to hiring specifically, don't wait. Is the best answer and the best advice is step one is don't wait. Step two, figure out those core values. And step three, start trying to build a team. I just pulled up the stats because I wanted to get an update of how many new businesses have been started in the last 2 years. And in 2020 and in 2021, there was a record number of new businesses filed in the US because
Wow,
people were leaving their jobs and they wanted to find something they enjoyed. That
that's
is
great.
two things important if you're an entrepreneur. First of all, there's a lot of like minded people, so you're not alone. Second of all, if you really believe in your mission and vision, then understand that all those people who are about to have failed businesses, unfortunately, are going to need a job soon. So get your house in order and get ready to hire some people with an entrepreneurial mindset like you, because it's going to be an exciting time to hire in about 3 months. Because all the people that started their own life coaching businesses, different rabbit trail, all the people who are starting their own social media influencer businesses, they're going to have some level of success, but they're probably not going to be able to sustain that as too many people trying to do their own thing. And you could look at that as scary, but I look at it as an opportunity. If you truly believe that your business is ready to scale, then really build it around an exciting mission, an exciting vision. Put that together and get ready to go bring some of these people on.
So
I think it's going
Denise,
to be
yeah, Denise just came on a little bit, and she's that person. She's going to come up with something, I think, something big. So glad to have you
Den-
here, Denise. That's great.
yeah,
And
Denise
thanks,
is
Tom,
everywhere.
and thanks, Lynn. And again, we'll wrap it up for today. So
Yeah.
join us every week. I'm here every week. And I will have next week AJ Patel, who is a process maestro. So if you want to do more things in less time, join me next Tuesday. Thanks
Thanks so much,
everybody for
Susan.
coming. Yeah. And hang on, Trevor. We'll talk after.
Sounds good.
I'm going to end now. Have a great Tuesday, everybody. And
Cheers.
what is it? Be fabulous today.